This is the New Hope News Now Network, putting the new in news. With headlines. And Rita LaBoutit.
Thank you for tuning into NHNNN. I'm Rita LaBoutit.
And I'm Ed Lyons, and these are tonight's top stories. Police have been reporting an increase in gang activity in the area, including the rise of a new gang that identifies themselves as the Stairmasters, which they derived from their trademark form of harassment, drive-by staring contests. Authorities say that gang members pull their car to the side of the road and ask innocent pedestrians for directions. Once the pedestrian begins describing the route, the gang member declares a staring contest, locking the pedestrian in their gaze until someone blinks first. An amateur photographer captured this footage of just such an attack. Some of the images you're about to see may be disturbing.
Hey, you know how we can get to the Metro Center? Oh yeah, it's just, you go right here. Staring contest! You lose! Beat it, SC!
Whoa.
That was hard to watch. I had to look away. Authorities say you should not walk around alone in areas that are confusing to navigate, such as the intersection by the Peru Mall and Dairy Queen. And as a precaution, always have a pair of sunglasses handy.
A simple pair like this will do just fine. You just take them and...
Boom.
Safety. Researchers continue to look for answers to the burning question that's on everyone's mind. How much wood can a woodchuck chuck? Reporters in the field say that this research project has been bringing forth more questions than answers, as the nature of this question has some bold presuppositions.
Well, we set out to find how much wood could a woodchuck chuck, but that was assuming that woodchucks can chuck wood. Now, if a woodchuck can chuck wood, then a woodchuck would chuck wood. But would a woodchuck who could chuck wood for woodchucks who cannot chuck wood? And why are there woodchucks who chuck wood and woodchucks who do not chuck wood? And what is the proportion of woodchucking woodchucks to non-woodchucking woodchucks? Because the more non-woodchucking woodchucks there are, the more wood the woodchucking woodchucks have to chuck. So how much wood can a woodchuck chuck? I don't know.
Despite the delays in their current search, the same research group has been able to provide us with an answer to the question, how many tall tales can a tall tale teller tell if a tall tale teller can tell tall tales?
5.
As you may remember, last week we reported to you on the fish shortage that has been growing over the past few weeks. For tonight's top story, we bring you the latest development in this story, which has taken a sudden turn. Due to the futile efforts of even the most seasoned fishermen, many have opted for a career change, leaving the world with a shortage of not fish, but fishermen.
Okay. Well, again, my name is Gil, and I was a professional fisherman for about 30 years. And folks used to say I was the best one out there on the water, and, you know, I believed that. I believed it for a long time. For about 30 years, I believed it. And then one day, I don't know, the nets kept coming up empty, and, you know, it was hard. You know, when you do something so well for that long, and then one day you just can't do it no more, a man's got to decide for himself at that point. Is he going to fish or is he going to cut bait? You know, and then if you can't catch any fish, then what can you do? You know, and I'll tell you what you can do, though. You can cut bait, and then you can sell it at an enormous markup. Introducing Gil Fisher's Fresh Cut Fish Bait. Guaranteed to probably catch you some fish. And it can be yours for only $95.95. Plus shipping and handling. Plus tax. If you pay that.
I was the first fish he caught. His very first. He was so proud. So proud, in fact, he stuck me on a piece of wood and put me up in his dining room. People come over and they say, hey, look at this, my first fish I ever caught. Now what's he do? He's a shepherd. He takes care of sheep. What's he gonna do when people ask about me? What's he gonna say? Oh, that's just some fish from something I used to do a couple years ago. I'd like to see him put a sheep on a piece of wood.
The strain caused by the sudden shortage of fishermen is being made at ease only by the sudden increase in shepherds. It appears that many people who were once fishermen have traded in their nets for a staff. This brings us back once again to the ongoing story of people who have encountered Jesus of Nazareth in the days following his trial and crucifixion. Last week we reported to you that his disciples, who at one point were also fishermen, had been feeling the burden of the fish shortage, but that one disciple in particular had had unusual success in the fishing grounds. We caught up with him this week to get his take on the sudden shortage of fishermen.
Fishing? No, I don't do that anymore. I mean, I had a good run. You know, it was okay. But after I met him, it just wasn't the same anymore. You know, no matter how many fish I brought in or didn't bring in, as was usually the case, it wasn't where he wanted me. But I'm a shepherd now. I take care of sheep. It's difficult at times. The fields can be rough, but they're very forgiving. The sheep require a lot of patience, but I'm happy that I'm out there with the sheep because that's where he wants me. And I recommend it. You know, if you've tried the fishing thing and it's just not working out, try taking care of sheep for a little while.
Well, it appears as if even the most successful fishermen have reasons to leave their nets behind and pick up their staff and follow Jesus. Many who have made such a career change say that the shepherding business is hard at times and can be intimidating for those who have made poor career moves in the past. But they also say the field is a very forgiving one and on-the-job training is provided. Well, that's it for tonight's headlines. Stay tuned for more top stories next week, right here on NHNNN, the New Hope News Now Network.
Yeah, is that it? Is that a wrap? Taco time.